Coppergate Elementary to our evening's entertainment. This is our student showcase. It will be the Coppergate Elementary School Percussion Club, directed by Mr. James Rivera, and the Dance Club, directed by Ms. Channing Maltz. It is wonderful having all of you here this evening, and I know you're going to do a phenomenal job, so have some fun, okay? Let's give it up for Coppergate. Thank you so much. And parents, thank you for allowing your children to come out tonight. Tomorrow's another school day, so study hard and get a good night's sleep. Dr. Kemp, could you help us by moving the podium back over, please? Thank you. Grab the first person I saw.
There you go. Okay. What do you want? Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Bonds. I'd like to introduce Dr. Chris Bonds, Senior Pastor, First Baptist Church of Middleburg, for invocation and to lead us in the pledge. Thank you for being here this evening.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me. Let's go to the Lord in prayer. If you guys would join me in standing. Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight in prayer, asking your blessings upon this meeting. We pray for our school board, that you would give them wisdom and discernment. We pray for all of our teachers, that you would give them encouragement, wisdom, and perseverance as they invest in the future generation. And we pray for our children, that they would learn in an environment free from fear, one full of joy, and that they would grow to be the children that you want them to be. And it's in Jesus' precious name that we pray. Amen. And now let's pledge allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Dr. Mons. And it's like the grand exodus following the student showcase. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're calling the school board meeting for March 3rd to order. It is wonderful to see all of you out here this evening. Welcome, citizens of Clay County. I want to take this opportunity to thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to attend tonight's school board meeting. This meeting is our opportunity as your elected representatives to collaborate openly and make decisions that will decide the future direction of our public schools and the education of our children here in Clay County. If you wish to address the board on an agenda item, there will be an opportunity to speak for 3 minutes. Please fill out a card, which is in the back of the room. Do we have any cards yet that we could hold up? Okay, thank you. Please turn them into one of our officers. That would be very appreciated. No additional cards will be accepted once the board moves to the public comments section under presentations from the audience. Your participation is welcomed and appreciated. And I just want to draw your attention, first of all, to our display cases in the back corner here. This is artwork done by Coppergate Elementary students. Sarah Hamill and Francesca Weeks are the art teachers at Coppergate. And if you haven't guessed by now, tonight is Coppergate night, obviously. So it's wonderful to see everybody out, and the principal was even dancing with them. I don't know if you noticed that or not, but and the dance teacher joined her as well. So we have our first recognition and award. We are going to be recognizing our 2021-2022 School-Related Employee of the Year and Teacher of the Year. Miss Michaela Buchanan there she is. And Mr. Broski, would you please join her at the podium? Thank you.
Thank you. Let's see if we're on.
While you're setting that up, I just want to make a note. Michaela is the director of our Clay Educational Foundation and does a remarkable job in sponsoring the Apple Awards, sponsoring Tools for Schools, sponsoring all sorts of things through that assist us in educating our children. Michaela, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Very
I think
good.
so, unless IT's helping me, which I appreciate them. So on behalf of the Education Foundation, excited to be here tonight once again for our final recognition of our Teacher and School-Related Employee of the Year for this lovely school year. A little bit about the process, just a very quick thing. So 88 nominees are chosen from the 44 public schools across the county. That includes 44 teachers, 44 school-related employees of the year. And from there, they all complete their packets. So teachers are doing 3 of their 6 prompts, and they have lots of reading, and you guys are part of that sometimes. So we narrow it down to 10 semifinalists from each of the areas. And that's really HR's role. We don't have anything to do with that, but we like to celebrate the 10 semifinalists, so we come and we do that thing. From there, we find 5 finalists, and then we do a second reading, whole other panel, classroom visits. They do a video, and that's graded as well. And from there, they do final panel interviews if they're on the teacher-related, teacher side. School-related is all packet-based, and ultimately we come with a winner on each. So for the event itself, you all were there. You probably remember that we had quite a crowd, but we had even more on Facebook. So we've seen a little over 4,000 people took part in the event, whether it was physical or digitally. We raised about $52,000, and we had additional sponsors for our nominee gift bags. So folks every nominee got the things listed, and then the winners, semifinalists, finalists, they get additional items. So they get, more money. Melissa, she got a a free car from Garber. So, there's just some fun stuff that goes along with being a winner in Clay County. And now we think we're going to play the video for Jacqueline Edwards, who is the 2022 Clay County School-Related Employee of the Year from Clay Hill Elementary. Yep.
And I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day, I'll rise up.
We would feel so amazing if she won. We would freak out at our house, and we would probably have a big pool party to celebrate. And I would say, congratulations, you are amazing. You're the best mom ever.
And if Jacqueline's here, we'd be happy to do another picture with her. But if you could guess, those were her kids. They actually go to school at Clay Hill Elementary, and we happened to know she was going to win, so we got some cool shots while we were at the school of them, and how surprised they would be if their mom, in fact, did win School-Related Employee of the Year. So Jacqueline, if you want to come up. And the 2023 Clay County Teacher of the Year, and yes, it's the weird thing. The state does 2023 for teachers, the regular school year for school-related employees, was Melissa Matz from Lakeside Junior High, and we're going to watch her video, which, by the way, they've never seen these before, so this is kind of fun.
What about us? What about all the times you said you had the answers?
I want to say thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It was such an amazing opportunity. I just have had wonderful experiences. Just want to say thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
What about us? What about us? What about us? What about us? What about us?
Thank you very much, Michaela. And congratulations to both of you again and again and again. We've done flowers, we've done plaques, we've done checks, we've done cars, tonight, yeah, it was just a picture with the superintendent, but that is priceless, isn't it? It's priceless, yeah. Sue would say so. Yes, there are a few that would say, Sue would, well, yeah, anyway, but thank you. Thank you for all of the hard work that both of you do. Thank you for just caring so much about our children. And that, I'm not going to get started because I'll get all teary-eyed again. But thank you for everything that you do. Congratulations. Woo. And go on to state and win state, okay? Because that gives us another opportunity to go out and have some fun. There we go. Okay. Our school showcase this evening is Coppergate Elementary, Miss Melissa Metz, principal. And you did a wonderful job dancing, by the way. That was great.
So good evening. I am Melissa Metz, not to be confused with Melissa Matz. Somebody has jokes tonight. I think that's very funny. So, and I am the principal at Coppergate. And tonight I am joined by Ms. DeVore, our assistant principal, and members of our faculty, staff, and some of our students. Thank you so much for inviting us to speak on all of the great things that are happening at Coppergate School of the Arts and SMARTS. During my presentation, there will be a video playing in the background. I am not doing a PowerPoint presentation. So there will be a video showcasing all of the wonderful things that are happening at Coppergate that make us unique. So Mr. Karen, if you will. When Ms. DeVore and I were brought on at Coppergate in the summer of 2020, Ms. Tito and Superintendent Broski gave us two main objectives. Number one, promote academic achievement for all students, and two, build a dynamic arts program that would rival that of our friends to the north. At Coppergate, we have 7 resources. These include 2 visual arts classes, music, drama, dance, along with arts-infused media and physical education programs. The first programs to come on board were art, music, and drama. Dance was added this year, as you may recall from the ribbon-cutting ceremony where Mr. Broski and many members of our board shared their moves with us. For the next few minutes, I will be sharing a little bit of information about each of our amazing programs. The visual arts program at Coppergate has grown tremendously over the past 3 years. Some highlights of our program include the art process, various 2-dimensional printing techniques, paper crafting, ceramics, sewing, and embroidery. These give our students the opportunity to create meaningful and unique works of art, mastering a variety of techniques, which teaches our students that discipline and perseverance yield success. We invite students to expand on their craft during our extracurricular clubs, which include a traditional elementary art club, a mural club, and our digital design club, which is responsible for creating our yearbook. Our students have had their artwork displayed at the Jacksonville International Airport, the Clay County Fair, the Clay Humane Billboard on Blanding Boulevard, St. Vincent's Hospital, the County Commissioner's Student Art Showcase, the Clay County Student Art Showcase, and most recently, the Augusta Savage Cultural Arts Festival, where students receive the highest of praise from the attendees, and we've already been invited to return next year and bring our percussion and dance club along. Each year, we host the Coppergate Art Showcase as our culminating activity for the year. Every single student at Coppergate is celebrated. There's over 1,000 works of art. Yes, all 500 plus of our students have their artwork displayed in this amazing show. Last year, the highlight of this event was our Glow Room, which featured neon artwork in an immersive environment where guests could walk through with blacklight flashlights to see the artwork glow. This event also showcased our drama club through a living wax museum and our percussion club, who provided the background music for the evening's events. Coppergate's drama program was created in the 2018-2019 school year and has provided students with instruction in the foundations of drama and theater. Students have explored the art of storytelling through dialogue and performance of literature. They have explored performing through puppets, shadow and shadow puppets, and role-playing. This fall, our 4th grade drama students performed a series of tableaus representing the life of a soldier for our Veterans Day performance. Students have also explored playwriting by developing their own scripts from both their own stories and familiar literature. Our Cults with Character Drama Club has performed 2 plays for audiences, The Enchanted Bookshop and 3 fairy skits in a tale. I always trip up on that title. They have also performed a mini musical, Rappin' Beats Fairy Tales, and a full musical, We Are Monsters, which many of you attended. The music program, as we know it, began in the fall of 2020. We aimed to set ourselves apart from other music offerings within the county by giving students the opportunity to explore the foundations of music, piano and percussion courses, and musical composition. This year, during quarter 4, we are introducing a ukulele course. For the past 2 years, we have offered a percussion club. This group of talented percussionists have performed their music to accompany Rappin' Beats Fairy Tales production, the all-county chorus holiday performance, and during our Coppergate's art show. Next fall, we plan to continue to expand our program to include instrument introduction through the establishment of a band program and handbells. To introduce students to instruments they will have more exposure to at the secondary levels. We also have an amazing chorus that was on hiatus last year and for the first part of this year out of an abundance of caution due to the COVID-19 pandemic. However, they reappeared this November and were met with a standing ovation for their Veterans Day performance. We even had a special appearance from Clay County Fire and Rescue Department where our students showed that no matter what happens, the show must go on. If you know, you know. The most recent art program to come to Coppergate is dance. We are the only school in Clay County to offer this exciting opportunity. When we first became a School of the Arts, dance was the #1 requested art form, but the last to come on because dance requires an extensive infrastructure that the other arts simply did not require. Over the summer, we completed a $30,000 conversion of a classroom to a state-of-the-art dance studio that would rival the best established dance academies in the Northeast Florida region. In our program, students have the opportunity to explore different dance genres. The students are getting a taste of many diverse styles of dance, such as ballet, jazz, modern, hip-hop, and as you saw tonight, West African. With the addition of our Dance to Arts program, the students are getting an outlet to express themselves through physical movement. This fall, our dance department had the opportunity to collaborate with the Colts with Character Drama Club to choreograph their musical, We Are Monsters. During our character parade during Halloween, our 4th, 5th, and 6th graders performed a rendition of Michael Jackson's Thriller. In January, we held auditions for our newly formed dance club. This weekly after-school activity offers students a way to not only improve their dance skills, but also to learn about being part of a dance team. They are working hard towards performing at our art showcase in May, and we are very honored that we have had the opportunity to perform for the first time in public with the percussion club at tonight's school board meeting. But we're not done yet. Even our more traditional elementary resources of media and physical education are also taking on the arts. In our physical education classes, our students have the opportunity to integrate hand-eye coordination and cardiovascular training with music and dance through our Drums Alive program. The Drums Alive Drumtastic program is the original and only evidence-based drumming fitness, health, and wellness program that provides a whole brain and whole body workout promoting physical, social, emotional, and cognitive health at all life stages. We continue our focus on wellness over the summer with our Farm to Table culinary arts program. Coppergate has a robust library media program, which has been a model in Clay County since its inception and selection as a Florida Power Library school. We have a balanced collection of books that meets the needs of our diverse student population. We have an active Sunshine State Young Readers program, including a Battle of the Books team. Students are regularly recognized for not only reading achievement, but also effort and improvement through multiple educational grants. We have built a large collection of STEAM materials that are utilized in library lessons integrated with literacy and reference and research. What sets our library media program apart is our support and belief in the importance of the art of video production. Our Art Rage Video Production Club, which you're seeing some of their work right now, produces a news show that is shared school-wide. Our students create videos for the Jim Harbin Student Media Festival and have placed on the district, regional, and state levels. We're not only developing a reputation for our arts, but also our smarts. As previously mentioned, when Ms. DeVore and I came to Coppergate, Ms. Tito and Superintendent Broski's #1 objective was to promote academic achievement for all students. With that being said, 2020 brought some unique challenges to accomplishing these objectives. We were in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic and revamping the face of education as we know it. Going into the 2021 school year, we were tasked with running 2 schools in one virtual and one in person. Finding ways to ensure that quality instruction was being delivered to all students, regardless of their educational choice, was a challenge, but one we were ready to take on as a faculty and staff. Through deep data analysis, we were able to deliver targeted small group instruction and targeted AM and PM tutoring, both virtual and in person. As a result, we increased our overall school grade by 69 points, moving from a low B to a solid A. Our gains were the second highest in the entire county. We really began to transform how we analyzed and used multiple data points to truly drive and differentiate instruction at the small group level. While we have had tremendous success, we do have our opportunities for growth. While we saw improvement in learning gains for the lowest performing quartile, when compared to overall learning gains, there is still improvement to be made, particularly for our students with disabilities in the PBS unit. Going forward, we will strive to ensure that all students are making the necessary and appropriate gains through our continued dedication to academic excellence for all students. Board members, Mr. Broski, members of our audience, I do invite you guys to pull out your calendar because I'd love to give you some dates of our upcoming events. Our Colts with Character Drama Club, Fairy Tales Go to Court, will take place on March 10th. Our student artwork will be displayed at the Clay County Agricultural Fair, May 27th through April 11th, March 27th through April 11th, excuse me. The Clay County Art Show at the Orange Park Mall, our artwork will also be displayed there April 29th through May 1st, and our culminating activity, the Coppergate Arts Showcase, is scheduled for May 12th. Thank you so much for this opportunity to share the amazing accomplishments we have made these past 2 years in these unprecedented times. It has truly been an honor and a privilege to lead this amazing group of students, faculty, and staff. Thank you.
Ms. Metz, we want to thank you and your team. In case you can't tell, Ms. Metz brings a tenacity and passion to what she does. And, being successful, not being successful it's not optional to be successful at Coppergate. And you can just feel that as soon as you walk in the building, and your passion for what you do and your whole team. I see your teachers over there. Thank you so much for what you guys do. Coppergate. Coppergate.
Excellent, thank you so very much. And you had to sneak that word in, that whatever it is. Yeah, I know, it's just one of the, but thank you. Obviously doing a remarkable job. And thank you all teachers for being here this evening. It's always good to see you. And you've been very passionate about your professions for a long time, I know. I know a few of you, and I know that, that it's really part of your heart. And it's obvious in what you're doing in all of these pictures as well. So thank you so much. Great having you here tonight. This is the last call for comment cards from the audience. If there are any other comment cards, they look like this. They're in the back of the room. Feel welcome to pick one up and fill it out quickly and hand it to Chief Wagner up in front. Wave, Chief Wagner, please. Thank you. And my straight guy over here. And if you have any cards, by all means, please feel welcome to bring them up. And with that comment made, and I know a few folks are leaving, I'm going to ask Elizabeth Phelps to come to the front podium. A reminder to please give us your address, and also you have 3 minutes in which to speak. Thank you. There it is, yeah.
Hi, guys. So my name's Elizabeth Phelps. My daughter goes to W.E. Cherry. Some things that have been going, that I've seen problems with, busing has been a ongoing issue. Luckily, it doesn't affect my daughter, but I know a lot of kids it does. They only have 3 buses in the first place. And a lot of the kids are having to wait for the bus to double back around. So they've already done one group of kids, and then they have to go and get another one. And it's making it really difficult for some of those kids to get to school on time. I know that that's not held against them, but a lot of the kids at Cherry are very dependent upon breakfast. And so if they're getting there late, they don't have the opportunity to eat and be ready for class. It's also a disruption to the class having to wait, and they're having to pick back up. And I just think that that needs to be addressed, is making sure that all of the kids have the opportunity to get to school. Are those kids standing on the corner waiting for a bus? Are they finding out that their bus isn't going to show up? Or how are parents finding out that, oh, the bus isn't coming this afternoon, and they have to make arrangements to figure out how to get their kid? And I know that can be a concern for a lot of parents in some of the school areas, so I just wanted to bring that up. Thanks.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Christina, I'm sorry, I can't read your last name. Bakos, come on up. Give us your name and address, please, at the podium. That would be helpful. Thank you. I've lost my 5th grade skills in reading names. I apologize.
I'm writing it fast. It's okay. My daughter goes to Oakleaf Junior High.
Name and address,
Oh,
sorry.
my name is Christina Bakos. I live on Oakleaf, and my daughter attends the Oakleaf Junior High School. I'm here today because I feel the school system should change their mind on how the IEP should be handled on students. You tell us parents how you're not labeling a child, but you look at some of the IEPs, you have child and older students on access points. Sorry, I'm nervous here. Please tell us how you're not labeling a child with a disability. Then when you head to high school, you have 2 types of diploma. One is a general education diploma, and the other is so-called specialized diploma. Now you're limiting the child already through elementary school with these access points. So you're already, for me living here for 3 years, I had one amazing teacher that helped my 2 children to get off the access points, and she retired. The other one, I had a bad experience with my one child, but I had to call New Jersey IEP case manager and principal. They took care of that. But now I have another child who is on the access point, and she's in a self-contained class, and she's not getting pushed enough. And her reading level is not where it's supposed to be. I will talk to the teacher, ask questions about her, and it seems like he cares, but he doesn't. I got very annoyed over the phone with him. I'm asking you to drop these access points. You're not doing justice for these kids who are born different. That's why down here you see yelling kids with guns, violence, because the school would do away with these students and put them to a behavior school like Benderman School with other violent kids in the school. And in Jersey, there's so many more resources than down here. This state is about vacations, about living and changing how they are run down here.
Thank you. At this point, we are at the point in our agenda, just making certain, that we would like to adopt the consent agenda. And just a note, there's a proclamation within the consent agenda for the Clay County Agricultural Fair, which we know is from March 31st to April 10th. And we also have a proclamation to establish School Social Work Week, which is March 6th through 12th. Thank you. Do I hear a motion to accept the consent agenda?
I'll move approval. I'll second.
Ms. Karakis moved approval and Ms. Gilhausen seconded. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Please make certain that you vote on your
And
computers.
Ms. Bola, before we move forward, I do see that we have the Board of Directors for the St. John's Classical Academy.
You beat me
and
to it.
we
I
should
recognized all
acknowledge
of
that
those
they're
ties.
here, And
Continue, go right
I
ahead.
was just going to say, I noticed they're here, and I didn't know if Ms. Hutchins had something she wanted to address about this or not.
I also see our headmaster here.
You see Mr. Martin here.
Thank you for the great opportunity. Again, my name's Diane Hutchings. I'm the founder and president of the board of St. John's Classical Academy. And more than anything, I want to say thank you for giving us a new contract. And thank you to your staff. They have worked with us so well. And I can't say enough, our headmaster, Mr. Johnson, he's always telling me how great they are to work with and how helpful they are. And just really appreciate the opportunity that you've given us. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Ms. Hutchings. Our CCA update. Ms. Kidwell, there you are.
Happy Thursday. It's March. Yay. 10 days till spring break.
Not that we're counting.
No, not that I'm
at all.
counting,
The
but,
countdown has begun.
So, golly, I have to be thoughtful here because the message that I have gotten from our teachers and from so many around us and that I'm feeling is that we all just need some hope, right? I mean, 10 days, I just can't be thinking about spring break, but what happens after, like 89 days until summer, right? So I just want to say thank you to the board and to the superintendent and to our district staff because it really is a collaborative relationship. And I know I've said that before, but I hear from people all over the state about how their school boards, their superintendents, their districts are at odds with the Teachers Professional Association, and it shouldn't be that way. We all have the same goals. We all want our students to thrive. We want to strengthen our public schools, and it takes all of us working together. So I know teachers tell me they're down, they're stressed and it's one more difficult year, but we have grown so much in all that has challenged us. And, as a teacher, I used to say, what doesn't challenge, if you don't get challenged, then you don't grow. And that's the truth, with kids. They have to get challenged, they have to fail in order to grow, in order to become what they need to be. And so we have to keep moving forward together. And I firmly believe that we all feel that every student deserves the freedom to achieve their dreams, and it's our job to work together and make those dreams come true in Clay County. And if that's our goal and we're working towards that, and we all have that same path that we're marching forward on, even though we might not agree about everything, we're going to be successful. And so I want to thank you and give you hope. 10 days till spring break, 89 days till summer. Next year's going to be awesome. I'm believing it. From my lips to your ears, right? And the budget from the state looks really good. So there's a positive thing right there.
Yep.
Thanks.
Thank you, Ms. Kidwell. Is Mr. Roberts here this evening? I haven't seen him, so I'm going to assume that there's not going to be a CESPA update. Anyone else here in his place? Just making certain. Thank you so much. Next, we are going to hear from our superintendent with his update and presentations, and I think only 2 slides tonight, from what I understand.
You can only dream, Bola. You can only dream of that. So first of all, I just want to remind Ms. Kidwell that I'm excited because there's about 5 months until pre-planning. And those people that count down get the reverse psychology right away from me. So to our 2 speakers that we had this evening, in regard to busing, we'll go ahead and we'll look into the busing for your child. Busing's an issue everywhere. about 1,800 bus openings across the state of Florida. We're a little short in our county, but not as bad as others. And really the solution, the only solution to this is have more people be bus drivers. And that's really the key to it. And so it's a very challenging environment, but we'll look into your kids for that. And to the second speaker, we'll have somebody call you about access points, for your child and deal with that. So today I've got more than two. I've got a couple. I'm going to talk a little bit about Clay Day, Construction Career Day, our climate surveys, the School of the Month, a new segment called Behind the Scenes at CCDS, and Spring Break Reminders. So without further ado, Clay Day. Clay Day was a great opportunity to showcase all that is Clay County. I'll just tell you that I liken it to an event in which we share all of the passions of all the various towns and all of our community. And I always leave there impressed and very thankful and feeling very blessed that I live in Clay County and represent Clay County schools. Clay County is a great place to live, raise a family, and for kids to go to school. Up there, something new that we did, maybe this is a better picture, maybe. The bottom left, all of our senior class presidents, or most of our senior class presidents, and senior high principals went. That's kind of a new wrinkle. I applaud those that were smart enough to think of that and actually have our students go down there and see government in action. Was a new wrinkle there. You can see the group up there in the upper left that was there, and our Fleming Island band played there in the courtyard. Great event. I always leave there just feeling so good about Clay County and all that Clay County has to offer families. The second is Construction Career Day, which this was my first time ever going to Construction Career Day, and it was quite the event. You can see the pictures down there, a lot of big, heavy equipment sort of stuff that some of us even actually got to ride. It was like a little kid's dream to go out there. But more important than that, it opens the eyes for students. About 600 students went there, a little over 500 to 600 that went there. But the thing that impressed me most was just the careers you didn't think of. So I wound up striking up a conversation with a young man, and his whole job was to fly drones. And I thought, my son would have loved that. Fly drones in order to, as part of the surveying process for different, and I would never think that somebody would make a living flying a drone, right? So I think one of the things that most impressed me about Construction Career Day is that there's so many careers, and so many careers that students perhaps don't know about, and had the opportunity to see that in action. And so some actually made connections for future employment that way. So I want to talk a little bit about climate and culture surveys. Our student survey, one of the things that we started a couple of years back through Ms. Fogarty and her department was actually surveying students. And we asked students very simple questions. Hey, do you like school? Yes or no? Do adults help you at school? Those sorts of questions. We do have some results to share. We actually had a 10% increase in the number that was surveyed. Very proud of that fact. There were 17 questions for our K-2 students, 19 for our 312 students. We focused on connectedness, school safety, school orderliness, et cetera, and you can kind of see the categories. And I guess the highlights, if I was to kind of sum it up, there's lots of information within this, but the top celebrations, the question was, there is an adult at my school who will help me if I need it, right? Really simple, nondescript question. That was one of the highest scored. So they felt like there was an adult that they could turn to if they needed help. And then school significance. I think school's important. Students see the importance of education. Okay, isn't that wonderful? Opportunities for growth. Students treat each other with kindness and respect at my school. That was one of the lowest of those. Obviously, working on student behavior is something that we strive to do in Clay County. I know a board member had made comments, to that extent, and we're in the process of reviewing our student code of conduct to make necessary adjustments relative to that. I mean, folks have been through a lot. but still, good behavior is still expected in Clay County schools. School of the Month, we want to thank Community First Credit Union for partnering with us. This next month is Movement Matters. This is the physical exercise, good eating and health habits. Last month was Dynamic Diversity. Argyle Elementary School and Orange Park High School were our two winners. Behind the scenes. So I thought it was kind of interesting, like, you know, when you're trying to think, what are you going to say in a superintendent's update? There are so many things that are obvious, right? We all enjoyed the students that were here showing off their talents. The principal came and talked about it. But there are things that happen behind the scenes in an organization that has 5,000 employees, 40,000 students, and, you know, many, many parents. You know, one of the things that happens is going to be on the board agenda today during the month of March is when we start ramping up for next year. So believe it or not, this is the most exciting time for me. I love the beginning of the school year because parents are dropping their kids off. They're smiling. Kids are smiling. Everybody's happy. You know, we're back to school. Well, this is the time of year where you not only have to do what's happening right now, but you also have to look forward to what's going to happen next school year. And that's very, very exciting work behind the scenes. So Miss Dennis thought about maybe like the Wizard of Oz curtain, but we settled on the magnifying glass as our symbol for this new segment of behind the scenes. So you know that the allocation process when you have an organization with 5,000 employees sometimes takes more than just one time, this March meeting. If you recall, we focused on stability, being fiscally conservative. I do believe that we should live within our means, and flexibility. We also have evaluated or very close to evaluating all of our employees at this point. Then we start the process of appointing people to positions for next school year. And that's a process that starts in April and sometimes takes a couple months or a couple board meetings to kind of get through that whole process. I said openly at that workshop that we'll have a couple of additional asks in the future. We believe firmly that we should do more to support teachers in the classroom. And I kind of said there's a three-part plan in relation to teachers and the nationwide teacher shortage. One, have a robust recruitment plan, and I'll go ahead and I'll send you an email with that recruitment plan in there. You should create an environment where people want to work for your organization. Okay, you do that in a variety of ways. Certainly financial compensation is part of that. And let me just say, I applaud the board. All of the things that you have done in the last 2 years since I've been superintendent have all been very supportive of our employees. And I've always felt like we were one team and one unit attempting to support our employees. And I say it all the time, Clay County is not just a good place to work, it's a great place to work. I believe that wholeheartedly with all my heart, and I know that because I've been here 32 years. I've seen it, and I know that each one of you have that same level of commitment to our employees. You know, let's face it, the teacher in the classroom, the support employee, the administrator, they're all needed in order to have a successful school system. The second or the third part of that is support. And so there's a variety of support that we should give our teachers. First, that support should happen at the school level organically through things that can be implemented at the school. But there also has to be district support. And so you probably saw job descriptions for a teacher support coordinator and teacher support coach, and look for more information in future board meetings, because I just feel like the retention of employees is a really, really big deal in today's world. And so we need to do more of that. Some other exciting stuff for me, I've been out to about 10 schools doing calibration walks. A calibration walk is where myself and other administrators, we go into teachers' actual classrooms and we pick them at random. We see what's happening there. It's kind of like a site inspection. But then the cool part of all of that is that after it's all done, we all get together and compare what we saw. Right? That's the calibration part, so that we're all looking and seeing the same thing, so that as we go through coaching cycles, we have the same vision, the same mission forward when it comes to students. That's exciting part. That's probably been my favorite part of the whole year, to be honest with you, given all that's happened. We also had lead meetings with our principals, where principals have to justify what it is we're doing academically in order to ensure greater student achievement, greater student learning. The whole goal is, two things should happen. One, improve student learning is the #1 mission of the organization. Two, students should know that they have adults that care for them and care about them, because they really don't want to learn unless they know you care about them. So I think we do really, really well in both of those, and I'm proud of the schools that I've seen thus far. Remember, there's 3 things that we're focusing on: high-quality literacy instruction, a lot of research related to students and students' ability to learn be able to read by 3rd grade and read on grade level, and what that does for the future academic success. There's been more emphasis on that in the last 2 years than I ever remember in my 32 years. And it's so important that young folks can be on track by 3rd grade in order to ensure future success. In addition, the One Clay vision, which focuses on students academically taking ownership of their learning. In other words, the teacher has to let go in the classroom and the student has to do the work, right? We know the teacher knows their stuff. It's the student that we're concerned about. And to be honest, sometimes adults have difficulty letting go of that. We want students to be engaged, not just compliant. Doing a worksheet or doing something of that nature while learning may occur, it's really not engagement, it's compliance. We want engagement, not compliance. We want teachers to check for understanding along the way. We also want to make sure that it's rigorous. It has to be rigorous. You can't expect a student to do well on an assessment if they've never had to do it before. In fact, it should be so rigorous that the test seems relatively easy by the end. In addition to that, our professional learning communities, learned a long time ago, it takes a team of people in order to be successful. And empowering teachers to be leaders among their group, whether it's a grade level chair or a subject chair, that's really the next step in the evolution of Clay County. Our Teacher Leadership Academy that was going on this week, provides some training for teachers on how to do that. And I'm excited about the future when it comes to student learning. Spring break reminders. Yes, everybody's excited about spring break. March 14th to 18th. Remember, Teacher Planning Day is Monday the 21st. Students come back on the 22nd. Report cards are on the 25th. And with that, I will turn it over.
Thank you, Mr. Brodsky. Well done, even if it was more than 2 slides. No, kidding. Moving on. We are now into the discussion items. The first, Human Resource Special Action A, was withdrawn. D2, Human Resource Special Action B. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll move approval.
Ms. Karakis moved approval. Is there a second?
Second.
Ms. Bullock seconded it. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? The vote carries 5-0. Moving on to Human Resources Special Action C, I'll entertain a motion.
Move approval.
I'll second.
Ms. Gilhousen moved approval. Ms. Karakis seconded the motion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. And there is no Human Resources Special Action D. I will open the public hearing. I will open the public hearing to vote or for any comment about the advertisement for the adoption of the 2021-2022 6th through 12 mathematics materials, which were in the side room over here. Reminded me a little bit of our algebra background. Any comments from the public? I will close the public hearing, and I will entertain a motion to approve as advertised the adoption of the 2021-2022 6th through 12th grade mathematics materials.
So move.
I'll second.
Ms. Bullock moved and Ms. Gilhousen seconded it. Any discussion? Ms. Clark, did you have any opportunity to work through those problems that we were discussing? Oh, okay, got it. Great, great. Sorry, couldn't
Ms.
resist.
Bola, did you assign her homework?
I did. I said, you know, if you're going to approve this is a, newbie, first curriculum, yeah. Without any further discussion, let's vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0.
Can I add something?
Sure.
Carol Valancourt, when she was on the board, was on the committee, and when they brought the textbooks for adoption, they dropped them all in her garage. There was like a stack for her to read through. That's how it used to be.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, see, for me, that would have been sort of fun, but I'm
She-
sorry. that's-
I think she liked it too.
Not necessarily in my garage, however, there's a lot. And just a comment, it was funny because I've been hearing frequently from people, we should put textbooks online. And I'm sitting here going, textbooks have been online for years. I've been on the board now, this is my 6th year, and I know that I had textbooks online that I can recall, and my brain's going a little bit, but I would say at least for 5 to 7 years prior to that. So they've been online. If you ever need to get to the textbooks, obviously you can go onto our website and they are available to you. They're along with our curriculum maps and everything else. So
So when your
just a-
4th grader says he can't do his homework because he left his math book at school,
Yeah.
no excuses.
none whatsoever. I love it. Anyway, okay, moving on to D6, the proposed allocations for 2022-2023. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll move approval.
Ms. Karakis has moved approval. Is there a second? Ms. Clark has seconded. Any discussion?
I'd just like to say that although I didn't make the agenda review, I'm really impressed with this packet. I think staff has done a very good job. They thought of everything. I would love to see a few more here and there of certain positions that I know, would be needed. But overall, I was very pleased with it. Good job to staff.
Good job, staff.
Thank you, staff.
Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries for the allocation package 5-0. I have to say it was a relief not seeing lots of changes in programs going from school to school also.
Well, and like Mr.
Awesome.
Brodsky said, it's the living document. We can amend it down the
Absolutely.
road when necessary. That 10-day count comes, we can add where we need to or whatever, so.
All right, Mr. Bickner, we are at the point now where we have school board attorney remarks. You have none. Thank you. Going down the line, Ms. Gilhousen, would you like to go first this evening?
Just want to wish everybody a happy spring break. I know we're all excited for the Clay County Fair coming up at the end of this month. Hope to see lots of our students participating in that. And other than that, I think that's about it for me.
Thank you. Ms. Bullock?
In looking over the allocation package, and I agree with Ms. Kirkus, it was a great document. And I also want to say that as a living document, the one area that I'm concerned about is our mental health counselors. And I know they're hard to find, but I really want us to kind of focus on that. I emailed a letter to you late today. I know you haven't had a chance to see it, Mr. Brodsky, from the superintendent of Bay County Schools that sent out to his parent and guardians and said, why are my children like this? And then they had a whole list of all the different things from divorced parents to homelessness to abusive situations. And so it's a growing concern of mental health, and I really want us to make sure that we look at those areas, and anytime we have an opportunity to try to get some additional mental health counselors, especially for some of our low-performing schools or some of our schools that have a high ESE population, all of those different things. So I appreciate it. It has been a busy month. We did mock interviews at Clay High School. We had to do, at the end, a recommendation and an accommodation. Some of those kids were so good, I had to really think about a recommendation. I mean, they were job ready. They could have walked out and interviewed, and they were so good. We also, of course, went to the career day at the Jacksonville Equestrian Center, and I was amazed at all of those. Now, Mr. Boyack was there, and he thought he was doing a calendar view because we took some pictures of him, and he was doing this. But he was at where they built bridges. I mean, it was amazing, all of the different job opportunities, and what a great time for our kids to be able to find jobs now during this time. Of course, the Rotary Science Fair and the ROTC Ridgeview High School Pass and Review, was very impressive. And I'd just like to do one shout out to Kaylee Wright, a student at Keystone Heights High School. She was 6th overall in her class in weightlifting in the state, and I'm very proud of her. So, but I wish everybody a great spring break, and we all need a rest, I know. So thank you.
Ms. Karakis?
Well, Mr. Brodsky and Ms. Bullock and Ms. Gilhausen have covered pretty much everything that we've all done for the month. We've all been to, the School-Related and Teacher of the Year awards, and I will echo the comments about the Construction Career Day yesterday. Was it yesterday? When-
Yesterday, I think so.
Yesterday, and that was such a wow moment also.
Wow.
And there were so many different areas of what those students are exposed to. And no, I did not get to drive the tractors or the dump truck. I thought about it, but I thought it wouldn't be fair for me to hop in it when the students should be. So, but I was even impressed with, the drones and the traffic lights, and how the engineers figure out, the road traffic and everything. It was just amazing. And I really hope that next year we're bragging that we had over 1,000 kids go. And, not every student is going to be college bound. And these were excellent career paths I would be proud to have my children in any of those. And I would just like to say thank you to Mr. Brodsky and his team for addressing the drop extension that was brought to our attention last year. I'm glad that we're going to be able to make that work in some specific essential areas, and I appreciate the collaboration and the work on it, so thank you. And like everyone else, I'm just going to wish everyone a safe and a happy spring break. Thank you.
Ms. Clark?
Is there a spring break coming up?
10 days.
I must admit, I was busy and could not go to Career Day, but I have actually already driven a backhoe, so it's okay. But you'd be amazed how many drones are lost under homes when they just try to do inspections. So it's interesting all the ways they can utilize it. I was happy that, it's been a very busy week with a lot here to study and look at and review, but I was glad that we passed C-15 and that we're going to have an actual service go out. I think we had a lot of teachers that were frustrated, that kept asking and nothing changed. So I think this will be a nice move. It may seem small, but it's very important because we talk about it's not just pay, they've got to feel safe and happy. So anyway, that's all I have.
Thank you. Just a note on Construction Career Days. It was interesting having many of the people who were working there and volunteering there, when you're standing there and talking to them and saying what a wonderful opportunity is for our students, I literally felt grilled. And how many more students can you send us to work? And some of the most successful booths that they had were those that had former students that had been recruited at the Construction Career Day and employed by these companies, standing at that booth and telling other students, this is what it's all about. This is what a career is. And in relationship to bus service, we're competing, if I'm not mistaken, with loads of other drivers. We have found that our bus drivers can go to Amazon. We've all heard that. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, isn't it the same license for a dump truck as well? And they were telling me, you need to get your students to graduate and get this license, and we'll take all of the dump truck drivers that you can send us. And I was just standing there going, oh, no, you don't. No, those are our bus drivers, and we're keeping them. And it was frustrating because there's such a need in Clay County and Northeast Florida in general, but they were just begging for more and more employees. It was amazing. Elementary track meet, wow. We now have to have 2 elementary track meets. We split them between 2 schools and 2 Saturdays because of the numbers of students that are involved. And I did my due diligence, and I would go put up the Argyle banner at Middleburg High with my gate key. You didn't hear that. And the night before the track meet, and it was a long day when those kids would compete with each other. Well, now we have to do 2 days because we're getting more and more schools. So just a thought, there's a lot going on out there. Last weekend was at Ridgeview High, and it was a gorgeous day. And this Saturday, it will be at Orange Park High. So looking forward to seeing them. Pass and review also at Ridgeview, but also at Oak Leaf High School. They do their pass and review outside. And I don't know how they do it, but every time I've gone to their pass and review, the weather is perfect. It's always perfect, and it's cool listening to them in the echo of the stadium area. Good luck to our students who are in concert bands. They are doing their competitions there, and it's not a competition. It's basically they're being judged today and tomorrow. Mandarin High School, I believe also down in Palm Coast. And it's sort of like the band directors explained it as, this is sort of our FSA for band. And those folks are traveling to, like I said, to Mandarin, and I believe tonight they were playing at 7 o'clock, and another band from Oak Leaf is playing tomorrow night at 9 o'clock, and they will be judged. They basically perform for like a small panel, and they're judged by a variety of different things. And 2 of the young men at Oak Leaf High School are being judged for conducting the bands. And I went to the concert the other night, and it was phenomenal. These young men were totally into the music, and all I could think of was, boy, would they be fun. But at the end of the song, when the students in the band are actually applauding for their conductor as well, you knew they had done a great thing. Today, the mock wedding from our CTE programs at Fleming Island High School. You think about a mock wedding, and my husband was like, so what are they doing? Planning, practicing getting married? And I said, no, this is a hospitality CTE program. This is their opportunity to show what it takes to put together events. And the ASL class was there for the sign language. I asked those students, I said, did you know what the script was ahead of time? And they said, no, ma'am, we just did it from scratch. And I thought, whoa, they did the songs, they did the pastor, they did the whole nine yards. They have a catered meal. They have a wedding cake. They do the entire thing. The photography students were there taking videos. They did not bring their drones, although there are a couple of drones in the photography program. They did not bring them today, but I see that in the future. So that was awesome. And yes, spring break is coming along, but do not forget the planning day after spring break, because that is March 21st, and at noon at Garber Automotive, we are going to have our fourth Tools for Schools. And knowing Garber Automotive, they give away cars. At the last Tools for Schools, they gave away hot dogs and hamburgers and had lunch for the teachers. So if you are interested in getting those last-minute supplies for this year or setting up your classroom already for next year, now is a great time to come to the Tools for Schools event, sponsored here again by the Clay Foundation. I think I've almost covered everything. There's one more item on my agenda here, and I'm just suggesting this to the rest of the board at this point. It doesn't require any discussion. I would like for you all to think about something coming up this year. This will be the end of our 1 mil that the county voted on 4 years ago. This is the end of the 4 years. We need to discuss at some point if we have any desire to put this on the ballot for November. just so the public knows, it comes up to approximately $12 million that has been funding our safety and security. We have used some of it for other services, particularly in our insurance area for employees. And it is obviously earmarked just for those areas. It's not spent on anything else in those areas. As I said, I don't even want to begin discussion on it tonight, but I will be bringing it up for discussion at our next workshop, which would be the agenda workshop, to see if we want to place it on the agenda. And I've talked to Dr. Legutko, and I know Mr. Brodsky has talked to her. In fact, we asked you at the last workshop, are you planning on not having this in the future? And you had indicated that you are doing due diligence and looking at all that's available. But a $12 million hit on our budget would be rather large. So I would like you all to think about it, and I will be bringing it up at the next workshop. And on that note, good luck, teachers. How many days, Vicki? 10, 9, tomorrow's Friday. So, it should be good. But seriously, I hope you all have a safe spring break, and our meeting is adjourned.